Welcome back to Track 2 live at the Big O 2019. I am Beautiful Banshee,
Julia Sleazer,
and we will be bringing you the pairing of Denver Roller Derby's Mile High Club, currently placed number 3 in the WFTDA, effective March 31st, 2019, and Rose City Rollers Wheels of Justice, currently number 2, part of those 331.19 rankings.
Great, so let's go ahead and go through some rosters. I'll do Denver Roller Derby's Mile High Club first. 1-9, Leah Davidson. 2-0, Wilhelm. 2-7, Gobrecht. 2-8, Barrett. 3, Coppertop Crush. 3-3, Klein. 3-7, Garten. 4-2, Blackman. 5-0, Scald Eagle. 5-0-5, Wierzbinski. 5-2, Andy. 5-4, Lady Trample. 9-1, Watson Sirbo. 9-4-9, Coyote. And 9-9, Akers, who you may have seen earlier, coaching Denver men's ground control.
Yes, wearing all of the hats. And Rose City Rollers Wheels of Justice wearing purple this evening. 0-0 on a roll. 10 OMG WTF. 13 Drone. 16 Beyond Thunderdame. 1979 Lurs Lemon. 210 Tenacity. 23 Gallifrey. 247 Mia Palau. 28 Alicia Nisbet Smith. She's the captain. 340 Bonnie Thunders. 401 Tarantula. 48 Brute. 65 Simonis. 757 Morgan Levy. And 77 Lauren Much.
So we've got about 15 seconds. The officials are now making their way to the track, and the skaters will join them soon.
Yes, and our officials this evening on skates, we have Curse So Good, Umpire Strikes Back, Darth Bling, Don Scorleone, Genetic Disorder, Graffy, and Candyman. We'll bring out the NSO roster shortly, but it appears the jam is about to be on. All right, lining up. So first up for your jammers, as mentioned, Denver in white, Rose in purple, Wilhelm with the star for Denver, and Much for the Wheels of Justice.
The whistle is blown and we are off. The pack making their way to the first turn. Pack so thick, I cannot believe it, but Lauren Much is through. Rose City has lead jammer this first jam through. Took about 12 seconds to get that. Coming on the outside, saw some impact there, and Much went ahead and took a little bit of a spill, recycling back. That star cover snapped off by Wilhelm. They're also recycled back.
Yes, and Wilhelm still working at it. We have Denver taking the front of the pack, putting those brakes on. Braced by 505, Wierzbinski. Oh, we have pivot for Denver heading off to the penalty box. So let's see who we have. That is 19, Leah Davidson, captain of the Mile High Club.
Woo, nice little jump through the pack. That is going to pick up all 4 of the points. An 8-point jam to start us off, brought to you by Wheels of Justice.
And don't forget, if you are watching at home or wherever you may be on the stream, make sure to use hashtag BigO2019 in all of your tournament posts. Bonnie Thunders for the Wheels of Justice versus Lady Trample on Denver, and Trample in the back getting caught up in a dynamic Wheels of Justice wall, and at the front, Thunders up against 2 Denver blockers, but cutting to the inside line. Thunders is out with lead to her credit, and number 27 on Rose just working, I misread, 247. We saw great action in the pack, in the backstretch. Thunders calls it at 4 points, bringing Rose's tally to 12. We're seeing the pivot from Rose on our last jam, having a seat in the penalty box. So a 4-3 pack advantage for the Mile High Club starting jam 3.
Brute taking the line for Rose City, Klein for Denver. Rose City losing a blocker to the box. That is number 28, Alicia Nesbitt-Smith.
Tarantula with the drawback for the Wheels of Justice. Klein still working at it to the outside in turn 1. Able to surpass, that was not lead jammer. Brute cycled back, being taken to the infield by a trio of Mile High Clubbers, and 4 points on the first scoring trip for Klein, putting Denver on the scoreboard.
It is rough going back there for Klein. She has now snapped that helmet cover off. Almost making it through on the inside. I think she was worried if maybe like a wheel had crossed over or something, did recycle herself back, even though it was hard fought to get through at all.
Better to be cautious.
It's absolutely correct, you know.
Leah Davidson to the penalty box, so now the Mile High Club without their pivot, though it appears at the front of the pack, Watson Ceravo along with 505 Wierzbinski doing just fine cycling back. So as Brute redons the helmet cover coming into the pack, this will be the first scoring pass through. Klein has already made one, but is having a lot of trouble getting through this second scoring pass. Each team's blockers doing an absolutely amazing job knocking out, recycling, swallowing them back up. That is 4 more points for Rose City right now, a 4-4 jam. And despite Barrett's efforts to glue her hips onto Brute able to make that work for her. 3 for the Mile High Club, taking them to 7. And let's see.
Well, that's the first.
9.
Sorry. We're going to say the same thing.
Yes, great minds think alike. I apologize.
Oh boy.
Like, bam. We have an official timeout at the moment. And a special thank you to RPG producing for us this evening. Stakes Contact Wear bringing you this presentation. Put some stakes between you and your opponent. Visit stakeswear.com. Also, a great preview this evening for what could happen at the International WFTDA playoffs later this year. And of course, those tickets for the International WFTDA playoffs and championships will go on sale June 17th, 2019. Mark those calendars now and get your tickets upon the June 17th date. Stop. The June 17th date. Mark your calendars now. Get those tickets at WFTDA.com/tickets.
Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties that are now continuing, I think.
Well,
can you hear me? Okay, good. I
can hear you.
Something happened with the mics.
And you can hear me now.
I'm so sorry.
No, hey, you know what? It's roller derby. It's live. It's unpredictable. And that is part of the fun, Sleazer. Yeah. Don't we know it? But hey, guess what?
What?
We had video the whole time.
Yeah.
Woo! We've experienced foibles in the past, but the best part is you still have us, and we're back in your ear. Be careful what you wish for, friends. But we are back to the track. That is Lauren Much wearing the star for Rose up against Scald Eagle, and Scald Eagle taking lead over her former teammate from Rose City. Okay, so we're seeing Much out of the pack, and Scald Eagle soaring out of the pack above the opposition and putting up 4 points on the last scoring trip. 11 points, narrowing Rose's lead to just 5 points. And once again, a huge thank you to our streaming support, our production crew. I do believe headed by Grimes, if I'm not mistaken.
Grimes forever. Grimes for president of something.
Grimes is the best, and as is the entire production crew. We love you very much. So do the folks watching from wherever they are in the Derbyverse.
I only saw him out of the corner of my eye, and I thought he was a rando. He was coming to check.
Oh, he was just making sure that all was well, and all is well on the track at current. Now that the penalty box is emptying out, 2-1-0 from Rose returning. That would be Tenacity. They're back to the track. Bonnie Thunders jamming against Wilhelm, and Denver having Barrett to the penalty box with the pivot stripe on. So right now having a pivot is not an option, though Bonnie Thunders able to secure lead at 35 seconds into the jam. So Pack over in turn 3, and Watson Cerebro going for the hip hit, though Thunders evades it, putting up 4 on this trip, so a total of 8 for the Wheels of Justice. And locking it down in front, a braced 2-wall dropping to the dynamic 3, and we're seeing ever-evolving pairing of Watson Cerebro along with 27 Gobrek, who's been an epic presence on the track in the Mile High Club defense, though does go to the penalty box. I believe it was an out-of-play penalty that sent her there. And let's see what we have going on at current. Speeding up past the jammer line.
That is another 4 points brought to you courtesy of Bonnie Thunders. It is a 12-point jam for Rose City. They have 28 points on the board, so nearly half the score thanks to this last jam. Denver going to remain at 11. Oh, sorry, 16 points. So in fact, half the score is thanks to this jam. And what would you expect from Bonnie Thunders but that?
Of course, and there was some confusion, though, Sleazer, right at jam's end regarding those 4 points. At least Denver was under the impression that the jam whistle had been blown, as we saw several members appearing to have been heading off track.
Right.
Though the points were obtained, so an official timeout at current. We'll see if there's any change. 2 points.
There we go.
For the Mile High Club.
We'd like to, of course, as we've said before, hashtag Big O 2019. If you'd like to say hello, we'd like to say hello to the Denver Roller Derby Twitter, who's very excited about this game, Quantic Mechanic, and Knox from Knox Talks. Thank you so much for tuning in and participating with us.
That's right. We appreciate you. And 28-13 at current, Wheels of Justice over Denver's Mile High Club. And while we wait, I know we've talked about the ticketing date for the International WFTDA Playoffs and Championships. And of course, the full schedule with complete dates is at WFTDA.com/events. And we'd like to encourage you to visit derbywarehouse.com for all of your Derby gear needs with free shipping and free returns. Free, my favorite price.
I know. I'm like, I don't know how it could be better.
It really can't. I mean, it definitely softens the blow because we pay for our gear and other Derby accoutrement, but we will take that free shipping and returns and hopefully find the right fit pretty quickly.
It also plays to my fear of commitment.
Yes, I understand. Me too. Traveling Derby announcers, never.
Oh, so I just received a message that my audio is not coming through. Cool.
No, I do believe that is an old message.
Old? Like, I hear us. I hope this is real.
You want to grab the mouse and just click on close?
How does it do? Oh, okay. Has that just been there?
It has been there, but then Grimes came over to visit.
Oh, is that when Grimes was like, hey? Okay.
I think perhaps
I'm nailing it.
We were in a bit of a kerfuffle, an off-track one, if you will, but that's okay.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It's true.
You know what's super, super fine? Lady Trample is about to take the line for Denver.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, facing off against Beyond the Thunderdome.
Yes.
Sorry, Beyond the Thunder Dame.
Dame heads right up the outside line, and she is battling in turn 2. Lead secured by Beyond Thunder Dame.
Beautiful.
Yes, and in turn 2, we have the pack moving with Lady Trample working up against the last blocker in tow for Rose. Pack extending in the backstretch as Beyond Thunderdame working against that Denver defense. And Lady Trample about quarter lap behind. Jam is called, yielding 4 points on the scoring trip for Beyond Thunderdame and Rose City. That does bring Rose City's tally to 32 points and Denver at 13.
Okay, so I guess there was a little bit of a score adjustment just a few seconds ago that I missed out on.
Well, it happened to me too. I just left it alone.
Oh, okay. I think I know what happened. I think the extra 4 went up.
They did.
Yeah,
the extra
okay.
4, and then
I'm
they
here.
realized, wait, it's off. But we know the officials are tabulating, and we appreciate their efforts.
They're faster. They're faster than me.
But not as fast as Klein on this jam. Lead secured for Denver. Lauren Much not far behind. And I don't know if you're aware, but that jammer line is proudly sponsored by Rydell, and it's already been surpassed a couple of times, and you'll be hearing about that more throughout the broadcast. Jammer penalty, but that was assessed to Klein, so leaving Lauren Much with the ability to bolster Rose City's lead.
So the pack stood still on the straightaway. We got the 3. Ooh, well, no longer is that brace in existence. And now we've got an ever-swirling pack. Oh, my gosh. Lauren Much trying to get to the top of it, followed out by, I believe that is Wierzbinski.
Yes, and back to the track. That is Klein returning from the penalty box and seeing a strong cube of Denver defense. That's Watson Cerebo along with Wierzbinski manning the front and seeing things get a little split, but Klein does come through. That was a scoring trip for her, a total of 17 for Denver. Now, Lauren Much at this point in the game, after Klein putting up another 4, Lauren Much was getting held back by a pretty grueling defense from Denver.
Ooh. Wow.
That's a total of 3 scoring trips for Klein.
I'll just make the sound effects. You make the words. Is that all right?
Hey, whatever you want to do, Sleazer. I'm cool. Sorry, I just figured we were checking in on the Derby Twitter.
Oh, no. I was just like, I'm just going to lean in. Everyone's going to go like, I was literally, I was checking in on the Derby Twitter.
I know.
And
which is an important part of their broadcast experience,
I love
too.
fan engagement so much, and we're getting some good memes and some good information.
Well, I did put it out there on Twitter prior to the call that you and I were going to be on this stream call. And
how kind of you.
And, of course, tagging Rose and Denver, knowing that their Twitter feed would be fire.
Absolutely.
Or as I like to say in Massachusetts, fire. Yeah, that's a Y-A-H at the end, folks.
I did hear you get near a Boston skater earlier and become very Boston.
Oh, you heard me with Tula. Yeah. But back to the track, the skaters at hand. That's right. Bonnie Thunders, the current leading point scorer prior to Lauren Much's jam. Bonnie Thunders is out there against Scald Eagle, though not lead jammer Scald Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Thunders calls it before Eagle soars through for any points. A totally scoreless jam, incredibly rare.
Yeah, but I mean, also forcing the call off. So,
It's true.
I mean, you need one or the other. So we're going to go 49-25. 18:45 left in this half. Absolutely riveting game. Wilhelm about to take the line for Denver. And that is brute out yet again for Rose City.
Now, Rose City has managed to secure 5 out of the 8 jams for lead jammer, and that has definitely helped them get a handle on the score, though we know with either team both so close as 2 and 3 in the WFTDA.
Oh, wow. It's like a plot twist in the middle of a jam. It's so crazy. I was waiting for Wilhelm to come through, and boom, Brute comes through with half the pack chasing after.
We have Tenacity having a seat in the penalty box, so a 4-3 pack advantage as we head into Jam 10.
Trample about to take the line for Denver, and Lauren Much out again for Rose City.
And Lauren Much, currently the top scorer of the game with a total of 29 points and 9.7 points per jam, 0 penalties, so a 33% lead on the game. Now, Much being held back by Denver and lead open, and Lady Trample to the penalty box.
It's like she's holding her nose. I think she might have gotten a little bit of mashed in the face.
That never feels good.
No, hopefully everything's all right. Returning to the track is number 210 from Rose City, Tenacity, coming out of the box, and Denver losing another blocker.
OMG able to force one of Denver's blockers to the infield. She regroups at the back of the pack with her pivot as we have that pair of Denver blockers.
Trample has returned to play. The penalty has been killed. In the meantime, that is another 4 points right now. An 8-point jam for Rose City, bringing them up to 62. Trample really making some huge hits as they come out of the top of the pack. Rose City having to reconvene. So there's a 0-point jam, not by lack of effort for Denver Roller Derby, and a 12-point jam for Rose City, 66-25.
Yes, and taking just a quick peek at our statistics, I have a super handy tablet to my left with all sorts of fun information. So luckily, we'll be able to fill you in as the most interesting bits come up. But right now, on the track, Jam 11 is on. Bonnie Thunders versus Klein off of that Rydell Jammer line. Pack getting all sorts of close, making it weird in turn one. We have a star pass to Leah Davidson on Denver.
This is, I believe, the first star pass of the game, is it not?
It is.
Not that we're only halfway through the first half, but still. So that was a 4-point total jam. Rose City now at 70. Sorry. I suddenly doubted myself halfway through a number. Wow, today's long. 70 points for Rose City, 25 for Denver. We are now under the 15-minute mark in this half, Banshee.
I know, I cannot believe it, but I knew we were going to be in for an incredibly fast-moving game. Not a ton of clock stoppages, and seeing, conservative builds for the most part on both sides of the scoreboard. Scald Eagle facing off against Beyond Thunder Dame. Both jammers in the pack. Dame going for the inside line and getting out in front in turn 3. She has 3 blockers from Denver taking her to the infield and cycling back into the backstretch, though coming right back at it. Eagle out first. 34 seconds it took as the clock was being burned down by Rose's blockers, and a star pass has occurred.
Yeah, that's gone off to Gallifrey, who's accepted the star, but,
No,
the name has changed back. I think she had the star. She started to put it on. I think it was not legal, and so they've gone to potentially give it another shot.
I do believe so.
Or maybe they reset it and were like, maybe not. Not real clear. She had it for a second there. So I'm just here to tell you facts.
Well, Dame did go to the penalty box. She's currently standing and awaiting her return. 4 points up for Scald Eagle. Eagle cutting down the middle of the pack in the back stretch. Rose's defense scaling back to get right in front. And now that Dame returned to the track, has passed the star to Gallifrey and completed it this time.
Legally. Last time it was complete. There was something amiss, though. Not in time to make any difference points-wise. So Rose this one Jam held at 0. 15 points for Denver. Score is now 70-40. And we should all take a deep breath.
Oh, yes. Scald Eagle now the second highest scorer in the game with 22 points. Lead percentage, points per jam, 7.3 over the time on the track.
Brute out for Rose City, Andy out for Denver.
Okay, we have our Wheels of Justice pivot having a seat in the penalty box that's on a roll.
All right, Denver going to take lead. So that's Andy out there jamming her heart out.
Brute does break the pack, and number 505, Wierzbinski from Denver, having a seat as well. So we'll see an abbreviated blocker line from each team.
Each team picked up 2 points in that last jam, 72-42.
Okay, so
yeah, okay. Oh no, I was like
waiting.
I thought there were the whistles on the other track, and they weren't. Okay,
right.
We are in an official review. Official timeout.
Correct. Now you may hear, and I do believe early in the game, the confusion about the jam ending with Bonnie Thunders on that large jam that brought them to 32 points, and there was some correction on the points on the scoreboard. I know that it was due to a little bit of whistle bleed coming from track 3. So it does play tricks on us on occasion.
Definitely.
But we know it's the nature of the beast. And make sure if you are out there on social media, whether you are in the building and want to check in and say, hey, I am at the Wheels of Justice versus Mile High Club game at the Big O 2019. Use that hashtag Big O 2019 on your posts, whether Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, but most definitely on Derby Twitter. We would love to know who's out there, and of course, for those folks watching out in the Derbyverse.
Denver's wish had come true. Andy got lead.
Oh, and I know that we introduced you to our skating officials, but our non-skating officials, while they are working on things during this review, we have Hoff and Roll, joined by Danger Muffin, Justice Deliverer, Judge and Fury, Sawed Off, Demolisher, Rhodes Warrior, and Tenacious D Cup. Thanks to all of you for making the Big O 2019 possible.
All right, we are about to get the action back underway. Skaters set up on the track. There is one blocker from each team seated in the box. We're going to have a 3-on-3 pack out there. Lauren Much taking the line for Rose City. Lady Trample for Denver. And Lauren Much headed off to the box for, I believe, 2 penalties. Yeah, and back at the action, Lady Trample has lead and a presumably 1 minute power jam. Now, Rose is making it a hard time to get through the pack, as they are wont to do. But this is going to be a pretty extended penalty kill to do. They are absolutely following her up. Denver, in the meantime, staying back because of, you know the strategy. Stay back, stretch it out of play, and they're released.
The passive defense does have its merits.
Oof.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Trample into the braced 2 wall of Rose City, though breaking it up, picks up the back block call, as indicated by the oohs and ahs. Thank you, Sleazer.
Yeah, I'm here.
We are here for this. And Lauren Much hopping right into the middle of the pack in the back stretch. The initial is complete.
Wow, zipping right along, found an open outside lane and really took advantage of it. 4 more points, right now a 4-4 jam.
from Lady Trample, going for a little contact against Lauren Much, though only a gentle tap. Now, not so gentle taps coming from, I do believe that is Simonis. They are out there working on Lady Trample. They've got Trample's number. Oh, Trample heading out, and let's see what we have. Jam reaches its conclusion. There seemed to be a brief pause in the staring at the bench before the whistle went.
I don't know.
I know. It was all of a sudden we went into slow-mo.
So it is a 12-8 jam in the end with a jammer penalty apiece. 84-50, still in favor of Portland's Rose City Wheels of Justice. Bonnie Thunder's taking the line for them. Scald Eagle for Denver Roller Derby. And it's going to be Denver taking the lead. Scald Eagle soaring in. Got that 3 brace in the back lined up for her, and wow, thought she was going to make it through, knocked into the inside. Absolutely trying to destroy this wall in the back and not quite able to do it. The pack comes back to meet her. In the meantime, Bonnie Thunders was about to come into scoring position. Scald not interested in allowing points to escape. Calls it. That was 2 points to Denver and nothing picked up by Rose City.
And that was 4 consecutive leads for Denver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So seeing that quick run and definitely benefiting them. Full complement of blockers setting up nice and close in front of the Rydell jammer line. Beyond Thunder Dame coming up, but caught at the front of the pack while Klein surpasses her. Lead to her credit, though Beyond Thunder Dame only within a third of a track of Klein. So Klein coming into turn 3 and spilling to the floor once encountering Simonis. Jam is called. All is love, and back to it. 1 point for Klein. And that's 53 for Denver Roller Derby, 84 Rose City.
We are now approaching the 7-minute mark for this half. Ooh, we have an empty penalty box. This game is just blasting along. Beautifully done. Lauren Much out for Rose City. Andy out again for Denver.
Now we're seeing On a Roll taking the front of the pack, maneuvering and doing what they can to assist Much, and it seems to pay off. Much is out, though unfortunately did not pay off in the way she expected. Yeah. A multiplayer block assessed to Much, so now a power jam for Andy in Denver.
The pack is stood around turn 2. Now moving on to the far straightaway, Andy appears out of the middle of it after a lot of fighting to get through. Lead is declared to Denver.
Nisbet Smith taking a seat in the penalty box as well. So that 4-3 pack advantage. Oh no, make it 3-on-3, and now a 3-2 pack advantage for Rose City as Watson Cerebro in the box, along with Pivot on Denver. Let's see who we have there. It appears to be Akers. Oh, no, I apologize, Davidson. Six points to Denver's credit. That takes them to 59 to Rose City's 84.
Still a fairly tight game as we get into the last few minutes of this first half. Trample is going to be taking the line, and there is an official timeout being called, so we can take a second. And what do you got?
Well, RPG just filled me in that the max point difference has been 45 points in Jam 11, down to only a 25-point difference now.
Very nice.
Yes, so seeing those gains being made by Denver, and I know the Wheels of Justice don't like that one bit, so we're up for quite the fight. Oh, I see the Boston Roller Derby folks right in the center of the stands.
Hello.
Hi, people. They're having a
They
good
cannot
time.
hear us.
Played very hard this weekend. And
Absolutely.
Oh, no, I know. They can't hear us. But they can go back and watch this, so they can't say I ignored them.
I know it. And there's probably some watching from home
Yes.
wishing they were here.
All of the folks out there, and we see everyone on the Rose City bench, patiently awaiting the outcome of the official timeout. Look at you when you're waving.
I waved at...
You totally did.
I waved at us.
You waved at us? We were on the screen?
Yes. I was waving at us.
Oh.
What?
I totally missed that.
Oh, no, that's why I was... Who did you think I was waving at?
I didn't know.
I was looking at us, waving at us. Anyways, Bondi Thunder's out. Lady Trample out. What's going to happen? But Lady Trample taking lead yet again for Denver. Bondi Thunders is out of the pack. Leah's just come out of the penalty box and is going to follow Miss Thunders into the pack. Whoa! Ramping up that speed at the last second. That does pick up Rose 3 to Denver's 1. Again.
I know.
Plot twist.
Who needs soap operas or their so-called stories, as the grandparents like to call them? We have roller derby.
As the derb turns.
Yes. So are the sands of the hourglass. These are the days of our derbs.
Wow.
Hey, listen.
That was her snort for the record.
Yeah, it was mine. I can't help
It's
it.
often mine. So I'm like, whoa, hold up.
That's okay. We make a company sleazer. It works. But you know what else works?
This jam, brute.
Securing lead status for the Wheels of Justice. And that is Rose's first lead in 7 jams. So definitely could be a turning point, though we know the turns continue all around the track.
That's how those dang old circles work.
Yeah, it's not a circle.
Those dang old ellipses.
Yes, there you go.
Silly old ovals, as it were. Is that what you wanted?
Oh.
You want to be like, I know about geometry.
No, I don't.
Well, good work.
No. Honey, I am struggling through Accounting 102 right now, but that is a story for another day. The story we want to talk about now, Lauren Much, who remains the top point scorer in the game, is out of the pack, and lead to her credit. Klein is her opposition.
That was another quick jam. So picking up 4 points is Rose City. Don't know why I needed to say picking up so long, but it happened. So 93 to 60, we have less than 3.5 minutes left in the half. And next up on the line for Denver is Andy.
The beautiful thing about this particular game, even though it is on track 2, majority of the games for both teams have been on track 1 here at the Big O. And track 1 was the only track with music throughout the weekend. But there is music at track 2 now that Rose City and Denver are before us.
Absolutely. I think actually Speaker of the House got us music.
Ooh, very nice. Thanks, Speaker.
He's going to get a raise, I can tell you that. Bonnie Thunders does have lead, so Rose City currently in control of lead, but Andy is out of the pack and will be in scoring position before Bonnie Thunders, who got swallowed back up. Bonnie does call it in time, a 0-4 jam in favor of Rose City, 97 to 60.
And during the course of that last jam, Rose's pivot on a roll. They are in the penalty box, so starting without their pivot in jam 22. And that was the 3rd lead in a row for Rose City. So definitely, as I mentioned earlier, the bit of a turnaround.
Yes.
Just with that quick pickup. Now Beyond Thunderdame is out there with the star. Scald Eagle is her opposition, but both jammers being taken to the lines. Swept like pendulums back and forth at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, number 29 on Rose. I keep reading it as 29, but it's actually 28, not 28. Oh, it's 23.
Wow, what's going on?
Sorry, it's the way the light. There's a lot of bright light in here. That is Gallifrey in the penalty box. So Beyond Thunderdame through, though not leave. Scald Eagle picks up 4 for Denver. That's 68 points. Oh no, 64 because I can math well.
You're giving it your best.
I tried. I thought the 64 was there beforehand.
Scarlett O'Hurchard. Computer failed her at the beginning of this game, but she's back to join us on the Twitterverse.
Excellent.
Hello.
Well, Scarlett understands with the technical difficulties that can occur on both sides. Lauren Much versus Klein. 4-3 pack advantage for the Mile High Club at current. Though we have Klein just breaking the pack as Lauren Much hitting the back of it in turn 1 on the scoring trip. Zero points yielded for Denver. Whew.
And there's, I believe, 4 coming in
Yes.
for Rose City, bringing them right up over the century. So 101 to 64. We have enough time for one more jam in this half. Out on the line is going to be Lady Trample facing off against Bonnie Thunders.
And getting close, though, no aggression off the line. Both jammers in the pack. Bonnie Thunders doesn't have time for that. And pushing on up, getting against Denver's pivot at the front of the pack. That was Blackman. Bonnie able to take lead. Trample about a half a lap behind.
Wow.
Pack picking up speed as Bonnie Thunders racing it out. Quickly calling it in turn 1. 4 points for Rose City.
Sound effects were meant to accompany the huge hits coming out of OMG. If you didn't see them.
Oh my. This whole weekend, every time OMG hits a jammer, or anyone for that matter, part of me just goes, oof, I felt that in my soul.
Ooh.
They're just, they're in the best way possible. The truck, they're getting hit. It's like getting hit by a Mack truck when OMG hits someone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I am glad that the folks on the track are doing it. But yeah, we have reached intermission. 105 for Rose City, 64 for Denver.
We'll be back in about 7 minutes, so stay tuned.
See you soon.
Welcome back. We are about to get into the exciting second half of this game. Rose City Rollers, Wheels of Justice, and Denver Roller Derby's Mile High Club. We went into the half with 105 for Rose City and 64 for Denver.
Yes, and I know that we had a couple of mentions in the first period about the point difference between Jam 11 and Jam 17, how that point difference went from 45 to 25. At the end of period 1, it jumped back up to 41 points difference. That had to do with Rose City's Wheels of Justice securing lead in the last 6 jams of the period. And as mentioned, I said how it could totally turn just with that one, and there we have it. But back to the game. Period 2 is upon us. Bonnie Thunders and Klein set up on the jammer line, sponsored by Rydell.
All right, the action is happening, and Inti hit this penalty box. And so a very thick pack to try to get through for Klein and Bonnie Thunders. Both pressing their way through. Klein now taken to the outside, looking on the inside, just trying to find any little nook so she can advance into the pack. It is going to be Bonnie Thunders getting through first and getting lead. Klein has snapped the star off, and I believe it has been passed to Denver's pivot, who is knocked to the inside and recycled back. That is number 19, Leah.
Yes, Klein was not a fan of becoming the jam inside the awkward blocker sandwich.
Who is a fan of that?
Nobody is, unless you're the blockers.
Right, but if you were the blockers, you wouldn't be the jam in the sandwich.
No,
that's
absolutely
the thing.
not.
The bread doesn't mind being the bread.
That's right, but that bread is gluten-free because blockers. And back to turn 2, Leah breaks the pack. So now on a scoring trip as soon as she hits the pack. though Bonnie Thunders calls it off, taking 4 points and bringing Rose to 109. Denver sits at 64.
All right.
And someone is playing Goofy movie soundtrack in the house. I know that's super random, but it might be DJ Agent Meow. I think he had it on the other day.
Did you say the Goofy movie?
The Goofy movie.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing. And there's even an extremely goofy movie, but something that is far less goofy and far more awesome. Lauren Much taking lead for Rose City versus Lady Trample, who is currently fighting the pack as it extends into turn 2. Lady Trample out and headed for the scoring trip. Much pushes the pack into turn 2 after picking up 3 points. So, fun fact for our friends watching out there in Streamland, we have a screen where there's a camera on us, even though it's not being aired, thankfully. And we were making a few goofy faces, and I totally caught Sleazer doing one. It was great. But Brute versus Wilhelm out on the track. Those are the jammers of record. And we were asked for a quick penalty count. We'll get that to you at Jam's end. Though we will see what else is happening there. Right now, lead was open. That perhaps was the whistle, unless it was a penalty, and a penalty indeed. That was on a roll, picking up a penalty. They're taking a seat in the penalty box. So Rose currently without their pivot. Lead for Brute. Wilhelm less than a quarter lap behind her.
We're just going to get our laps in here in jam number 3 of the second half.
The pack at a pretty good pace. We are coming around now, passing the Rydell jam line. Ooh, big hit from Brute against Wilhelm. Pack still fleeing the scene. No one's interested in being points today. And Brute and Wilhelm just kind of killing time. Nicely done. A 0-0 jam. So we're going to go into some penalty totals. Rose City has 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Oh, you did math for me.
I did. That's why I was waving at you, saying, "Don't worry about the count." Sorry. There you go.
15 penalties for Rose and 14 for Denver. So we are pretty evenly spaced. Nobody in any trouble. The highest on each side is 3. There are 3 skaters with 3 penalties on Rose and 1 from Denver.
Bonnie Thunders versus Scald Eagle, and Thunders out with the lead, while Scald in the pack, out of it in the back stretch, though up against Rose's pivot. That was Gallifrey.
So it's 4 points total for Rose City, bringing them up to 116. Nothing again picked up by Denver. How many jams have been unanswered by Denver?
I can find that out. We have so many pieces here to look at. Scoreless jams, 16 so far for Denver.
Wow.
Yeah, so seeing that, and right now,
that's total.
Yeah,
they have scored in the last 16 jams.
Yes, but that is the total.
Okay.
It's not it's definitely not a run.
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah. Just in case somebody just tuned in and was like, what?
No, that is in total actually 17 now that it's been updated.
Nice. Okay.
In total, but Rose City, in contrast, has only had 9 scoreless jams throughout the game.
Well, speaking of fruit jams that do have a score, this one has a score for Denver, picking up 4 points, 116-68, still in favor of Rose City. 24 minutes left in the game.
Okay, your jammer pairing is Lady Trample of Denver versus Bonnie Thunders with Rose City. So just one blocker in our penalty box. That's for the Wheels of Justice. They're pivots. So currently, we are working with a 43-pack advantage for Denver, though Bonnie Thunders does secure lead pretty quickly while Lady Trample in the pack, able to get out in turn 2. And we still have a lot going on in there. Looks like Bonnie being taken back by number 42. That would be Blackman, known for being able to put the brakes on pretty hard and generally a jammer killer.
So that was 2 points there for Rose City. Nothing picked up for Denver.
Now, Bonnie Thunder's second leading scorer in the game, a total of 41 out of Rose City's 118 on the board do belong to Bonnie Thunders. The only person outscoring Bonnie Thunders is Lauren Much with 64 points out of that chunk. So right now, Scald Eagle lead up against Beyond Thunder, Dame of Rose.
Gallifrey really chugging along, coming out of the box, rejoining teammates and trying to help break up Denver's defenses that have held back Beyond Thunder Dame. Gallifrey may be accepting a star pass any second now, or perhaps it's just a star stash. In the meantime, Scald Eagle coming through for a second scoring pass right now, an 8-point jam for Denver.
The combo of Leah Davidson, Watson Cirabo, and company really just proving to take away the life force of their opposition and allowing Scald Eagle to just maximize the scoring passes, or well, I should say scoring trips. Wow.
Passes is fine, isn't it?
It is, but it was brought to my attention by an official friend recently that trip is technically the term, but I can always confirm that. Yeah, so I've been using trip a little bit. So perhaps they're interchangeable. We can leave that.
I don't know. RPGs. Hand signals. I think she just told me she wants to take me fishing later, which sounds fun, and I say yes.
Or perhaps it was the dance move. You know, you go and try to catch the fish, just like the shopping cart. It's one of those. I don't know what's happening.
I wouldn't know because dancing is a sin, and I am not a sinner. Anyway, Wilhelm out for Denver does have lead coming through. That it was a 3-point pass there.
And in our quick notes and a little bit of ASL off to the side here, in the updated rules, it was changed to trip.
Oh, when I was your age.
Well, you know, just trying to stay up on my derby
No,
terminology.
I'm going to learn this now. I'm just like, what are the
and knowledge is power,
scorekeeper
France.
sheets say now?
And if you haven't read the rules out there, get to it. There's actually an official here named Read the Rules.
Yeah.
My favorite name of any official so far.
He's from Rat City's, what do they call them? Lightning Fist of Science, I think?
I love it.
I think that's the NSOs.
Oh, that makes me
I
happy.
can't remember. It was something awesome.
That's fantastic.
I remember there's lab coats involved. It's real.
Well, 6 points on that last jam for Denver takes them to 86. Rose City sitting at 118, heading into jam 9. 10 minutes into period 2. Jam is on. Brute versus Klein. If you're just joining us, the trademark purple of Rose City's Wheels of Justice. Brute securing lead while Klein fighting it out in the pack, which is stationed in turn 1.
Mr. Danger is so happy that Trips is being used.
Yay.
I apologize for my ignorance because ignorance is not an excuse, but I can change, and I will.
And you know what? Acknowledgement and willingness is a big part of the learning process, as we know, and not having to learn, but definitely using some serious balance on those tippy toes. Brute able to stay in, taking 4 on our first scoring trip. So up that inside line over the turn 1 apex, making it 8. And Denver shouting out all of the laps in this jam. Most definitely And I see you, Denver Roller Derby Twitter.
Yeah, Denver Roller Derby's Twitter is on top of it.
Really, with the DNA strand with the hashtag Mile Hydra. Oh, killing it. I love it when people have strong Twitter game, and especially when they can communicate via GIF. That is something I try to excel at, and yeah, you definitely inspire me. But right now, Leah Davidson took the star and does make it through, though no points, and just 2 on the last trip through the pack, taking Rose City to 10 over 0, so 128 to 86. Okay, also tracksuit game has been strong here at the Big O, and definitely brought by Rose's bench staff. I love it.
It's very nice. I believe
Yes.
it's a custom tracksuit at that.
Well, there were matching tie-dye shirts for their bench yesterday as
Oh.
well.
Fancy. Bonnie Thunders out for Rose City. Lady Trample appears to be headed to the box for a multiplayer block. It's going to give Bonnie the little bit of advantage, theoretically. They do have lead coming in for the first scoring pass. There are 3 of Denver's blockers remaining, and Bonnie passes them without trouble. The full 4 points picked up. Lady Trample is now stood in the box and will be rejoining play shortly.
The hush that fell over this
I
crowd.
know. I was like, what happened? Did somebody see a cat?
No, I know, but I think if there was a cat, everyone would say, "Aw,"
Or like,
or "Ooh."
Yeah.
Did I hear there was a cat in the officials' room earlier?
no.
Oh,
It was one of the pictures like I do. Scott Chicken
Oh,
was
that's
holding
right.
was holding our friend's baby
in
and
the
said,
break room.
someone left their cat in the officials' room.
Yes, that's right. Tober's cat. But more fun and important than that was that big hit that Thunders doled out up against the pivot for Denver. And Lady Trample out of the pack just on the initial, so no points yielded for Denver, and just 1 on the last trip for Thunders. Rose at 141 after a 13-point jam. To Denver's 86, we have a team timeout for Denver's Mile High Club.
Adventures of a Single Mama agrees. Denver Roller Derby's Twitter game is on top of it, and I like to point out this person is probably called Dewey, but I will say their Twitter name, which is Impeach Trump. They would like to start referring to each scoring trip as a journey. Sounds so
Ooh.
epic and impressive to hear someone completed 3 scoring journeys.
A journey, well, the journey would be the entire jam, those numerous passes. I will take that under serious consideration.
Let's all debate this in our heads for a moment. I can't read that. I couldn't read that.
RPG says it's a mouthful. But at the same time, you know, I'm sure that we can come up with a few
Scoring
things.
trips, scoring journey. Scoring trips, scoring journey. Scoring passes, there was a plosive. Trips, we've got a plosive.
Weekend getaway.
At the end. Journey.
Caribbean cruise.
I feel like journey should be easier to say.
Well, yeah, we could figure that out.
How many scoring Mediterranean cruises have you taken?
Sleepaway camp. But right now, very much awake. That is Scald Eagle securing lead against Lauren Much. And lead, let's see, as we mentioned, for Eagle. And we're seeing Leah Davidson pivot for the Mile High Club, having a seat in the penalty box. And now Davidson receives some company from Wierzbinski. Jam is called, and Lauren Much puts up a couple of points. Oh no, make it 3. So 4-3 on the last run through the pack, and 8-3 in favor of Denver.
Can I tell you? It's a tuple then.
To do what?
It's a tuple.
A tuple?
Yeah. It's not a couple, it's a tuple.
Okay.
That was it.
Oh, the 3. It's a
Yeah.
tuple. I like it. Sorry, it's been a very long day. My energy drink might have worn off.
Oh no, I just started a new one.
See, I had my
I'm gonna be so weird later.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great after party. But Scald Eagle versus Beyond Thunder Dame. And at Jam's End previously 144 to 94. Oh! Okay, and that ooh signified number 16 Beyond Thunder Dame off to the penalty box. So a power jam in favor of Denver, perhaps what they have been waiting for. And Scald Eagle powering up against the pack, though taken to the infield, strung back to the top of the back stretch. And yes, that is Simonis. They are pivoting and definitely all over Scald Eagle. And it was 7-5-1 of Rose City. I'm sorry, 7-5-7. Morgan Levy with a sweep out in turn 3 on Eagle. But she's able to get back in and start pushing up and does surpass. Whew. Talk about a burn.
Wow, calling it off. It's going to freeze out. I don't even know how any of this was possible. But here I am.
Endurance
in charge
practice.
of saying words.
It's because you're good at it. Stop it. Well, okay. You know, some may even say you're world-class, Sleazer, but you can experience world-class edging with the Radar Halo, available in a full range of hardnesses from 84A all the way up to 103A. There is a Halo for everyone, thanks to Rydell. Let's see what we have happening here. That will be a number 19 on Denver. Leah Davidson, captain, having a seat in the penalty box, did not agree with the call based upon the shrug or just not sure. And number 42, Blackman, just sweeping right out of the penalty box and into Rose City's defense.
Wow, really needing some fancy footwork to get that done. Just a little bit of track left on the outside. Bonnie Thunder's going to take advantage of it, take to the outside. Picking up 4 more points right now, an 8-point jam for Rose City. Coming back in is number 19 from the box. And, oh, I see. So she accepted the star. She came out of the box, accepted the star, went right back to the box. Some people were very happy, some people were very sad, and that is how life works.
And if you did not catch it, because I'm not sure what's bleeding through on our audio, the crowd in-house was in a glass case of emotion there for a moment.
That's what I was saying is like...
We definitely felt that range.
Yeah.
And I was not aware of this until now, but did you know that 14-point jam from Rose City, which took them to 158 over Denver's 94, on this broadcast at the Big O, is brought to you by National Public Radio station KLCC 89.7, known as the NPR station for Oregonians. Or Oregonians?
I believe it's Oregonians.
Oregonians.
Or I want it to be.
I know, I like Oregonians. There we have it. But back to the track. Rose City Rollers, they have Lauren Much with the Jammer Star and lead. Much coming through, staying inbounds and in play on the tiptoes and picking up 4 on the scoring trip. Meanwhile, we're seeing some divide and conquer tactics from Simonis and their fellow blockers.
Whoa. Blackman chasing Much out. Thought she was going to catch her. Leah having another seat in the box. I have to point out to you that is penalty number 7 for Leah.
Ooh. Well, being the pivot,
I know, right?
That is one of the risks, we know.
It's true.
And captain, because specific penalties to the captain.
Lauren Much having a seat in the box right at the end of that jam. So it's going to be a power start for Denver. I think we've settled, Derby Twitter has settled, or I'm going to say they have, on scoring adventure.
Ooh, I like it. No matter how brief or long.
Right.
All right.
It can be good or bad. This is from Corey NH.
Yes, Apple Corey, hey.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Like, oh, from Michigan, okay.
Yes. So, yeah, I find that to be a perfect descriptor. Thank you.
I'm liking it, yeah.
I will add it to the lexicon.
Please write the rules committee.
Well, I know some folks on the Sports Information Committee. Perhaps they could make a suggestion. But if nothing else, we could have our own, announcer recreational reference. And currently we have an official review underway for Denver's Mile High Club. And while we wait, don't forget about Hit This Derby Gear. They have everything you need to get rolling, from skates to protective gear and unmatched service for all of your roller derby needs. Before you hit the track, hit this. Also, big thank you to the Big O social media team, working hard all weekend to bring live tweets and Facebook coverage throughout the event to supplement this awesome live stream. And that is their words, not ours. So yes, it is quite awesome. I said their words, not ours, because I am not saying I'm kind of a big deal. But yes, the Big O, the production, very much awesome.
Yeah, the stream was awesome.
Oh no, it is awesome. I just didn't want to make it sound like I was taking credit, and that backfired.
You're not on the production. I'm all like, it's like,
No,
yeah.
the
So
stream.
they're doing this thing to compliment this super sweet thing we have. That's their words, girl.
I apologize. It's been a rad broadcast production from the crew.
Okay, I'm like,
No, it really has, and I do mean that.
okay, good.
It's just-
those are your words this time.
It's the fatigue setting in.
No,
I
I'm just like-
apologize. My brain scrambles.
Hang on. Here comes
The white team was looking for the cut call on the white jammer of the previous jam to be removed. Upon video review, the cut call will stand. The white team will lose their official review. Purple is official reviewing.
Okay. So Denver was seeking a cut call against Leah to be removed, though it will not be. So they do not retain their official review.
There is now a second official review, and that's being called by Rose.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, and my bad. I thought Ump was head of this true. It is Kurt So Good.
Oh, okay. I know, it's tough to keep track because we have so many folks. And Bobby Narco had tabulated, and I do not have the list, but I was amazed by the detail.
Yeah.
Just the various, there's a large group. Oh, okay. And Scald Eagle is serving the penalty right now because it was number 7.
Oh.
So sitting
Oh.
for Davidson.
Scald is in,
Just
in
took me
there
a
still.
second. I saw the glorious makeup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought, why is she in the box? Oh, yes.
Wow.
Oh,
All right.
cartwheels. Thanks to Barrett on Denver.
Cool.
Now, Bobby Narco earlier had taken a look at our officiating crew and saw that there are 13 states represented, as well as 3 Canadian provinces and 7 countries. So as far as countries for our skating officials, we have Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the USA represented. And within that, 3 provinces of Canada being Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Quebec. And then, of course, 13 states. Our non-skating officials come from 10 states, 2 Canadian provinces being Alberta and Manitoba, and 5 countries, Argentina, Australia, Canada, Germany, and the US. So quite the mix of folks, and it's a beautiful thing here at the Big O International Roller Derby Tournament 2019. And let's not forget, it is a WFTDA recognized tournament.
It absolutely is.
Yes, so the WFTDA recognized tournament program was designed to encourage various tournament structures brought to you with, of course, the highest quality content, say from said production crew here at the Big O, and, to bring it to everyone in the community. Oh, sweet dance moves happening on the track.
All right, Kurtz is talking to the bench crew. I think, are we perhaps? I don't know. Are we done? Yes.
The purple team was looking to have the back block on purple 7-7 removed. Upon review, the back block call will stand. In addition, it has been escalated to an egregious back block, and purple 7-7 will be removed from the game. Purple retains their official review.
Oh,
All right.
Yes, the official review was turned into an expulsion for Lauren Much, number 77, who is the top point scorer for Rose City's Wheels of Justice with 79 points and an average of 6.1 points per jam. So we are without Lauren Much on the Wheels of Justice roster, and a teammate is sitting for her in the penalty box. So one never knows. Plot twist indeed. 170 to 94 at current. And there was a question from Bone Shaker on Derby Twitter about the officials using available video footage in their official reviews. I know that they were doing that on track 1.
That is a trial for this weekend to see how it would go, but it's not permanently implemented, and I believe that was only on track 1.
Okay, so not a factor here on track 2, but only for this game per RPG it was.
Oh, well,
so
thank you.
Thank you for that information.
No one tells me anything.
But I'm glad that the question came up, so thanks, Bone Shaker. And Bonnie Thunder's out there facing off against Scald Eagle. But, well, Bonnie Thunder's currently serving the penalty in our box, but standing and released.
All right, through is Scald Eagle. Lead goes to Denver. Bonnie Thunders is in the pack, trying to get through. Scald coming in now for the first scoring trip. Huh? I did it. Yeah, I'm congratulating myself for...
Hey, toast to Sleazer. I'm all for that.
I'm really tired, y'all.
You know what, though? Okay, and this is not blowing smoke. To Julia Sleazer's credit, she's worked very hard this weekend and leading up to the Big O as tournament head announcer, managing a crew of what? How many of us did you have? 22?
Yes.
Okay, 22 announcers over 3 tracks for 3 full days. How many games?
50 and 2 expo games.
So, yes, that is vastly different than any event I have ever headed up. Lobster roll, for example. Only 1 track, 10 games, 2 days. So, yes, serious tip of the toque, if you will.
Well, thank you.
A shout to our friends up in Canada, because there's an event there this weekend, too. 54, Lady Trample on the track. Lead to her credit. And we'll see how she makes it work up against Brute from Rose City. And right now it is a full-on sprint in the pack heading into turn 2.
All right. That jam ended 3 points to Denver. Now over the century mark. 101 to Rose City's 170.
Yes, Jam 17 upon us, and we are feeling the beat of that in-house soundtrack. But do not forget, we were talking about the International WFTDA playoffs.
Yes.
And what is yet to come this year. So make sure for the full list of events between those WFTDA recognized tournaments, the Continental Cups, and the playoffs, and of course champs, WFTDA.com/events. And right now, Klein springing through the pack, securing a lead for the Mile High Club. Pack sitting in turn 1, working on Bonnie Thunders, and we'll see what comes from this. Okay, and Denver, this is the 3rd lead status accrued. So for 3 jams in a row, they are on a run with a bit of control.
Nicely done. Well, a little knock out to the outside and a recycle back. Klein has not made it through the pack for the second scoring trip, but of course had done the first. Bonnie Thunders nearly through the top of the pack here, held up by Gobrecht and teammate, headed to the box. Teammate, is that 3 or 5? Or no, is it Wierzbinski?
That is Wierzbinski.
Okay.
You are correct.
Couldn't quite read that armband. That is another 3-point trip for Denver, bringing the total for the jam to 7. Rose City still has not answered these points, so that's at least 2 in a row. 170 to 108. We have just about 7 minutes remaining in the game.
Okay, Scald Eagle up against Lurs Lemon. So this is Lurs Lemon's first time with the star in this game. Scald Eagle playing those jammer games, aiming for, you know, just a little bit of a mental game tactic there against Lurs Lemon, who does head all the way over to turn 2, where Scald Eagle brought her. And Lurs Lemon, a great addition to the Rose City team, a transfer from Brandywine. And this particular tournament was Lurs Lemon's Division I debut.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
I'm so happy then.
Yeah, and I've thoroughly enjoyed watching Lurs skate prior at Battle of the All-Stars because with Team Pennsylvania, but it's even better now to see her in the Wheels of Justice purple. But right now, both jammers caught up in turn 4. Rose City successfully detaining Scald Eagle Gallifrey with the pivot stripe, able to bounce Scald out at the turn 4 apex.
Wow, right at the top of the pack, Lurs coming through. That was all 4 available points.
Pack slowly but surely in turn 2, but we are seeing 7-5-7. That is Morgan Levy at the front, putting the hard press up against Rose City, but off to the penalty box Levy goes. Lurs Lemon makes an additional trip. And right now, Scald Eagle having her work cut out for her as cycled back behind OMG WTF indeed, though there's no drawback, or at least it didn't appear to be but seeing perhaps a little steam lost, which I think would happen to anyone, and perhaps for the average jammer, not one of Scald's capacity, might have just gone right down to the floor and said, yeah, dead. 11 points for Rose City, unanswered by Denver, 181 to 108. Under 5 minutes remain, and you know, wow, not surprised by either team's stellar performance today. On the line, we have 20. That is Wilhelm with the star for Denver up against Beyond Thunderdame.
All right, we're about to have the full pack as one last blocker comes in from the penalty box. Both jammers still trying to fight their way through, but it looks like it's going to beat Beyond Thunderdame. Narrowly making out. Blackman trying to come along, but that's not how this works. So Thunderdame is back in the pack, helped by teammates, only to keep Denver's defenses apart. They've got a 3 brace in the center of the pack and have kind of left her to press full weight against a 2 brace. Well, now joined by number 210 Tenacity.
Dame being absolutely swarmed in the turn 4 apex. Ouch. That just the press and the force she needs to use. Now in the back, Wilhelm meeting just as much opposition from Rose City. Nisbet Smith and Tarantula working Wilhelm back to turn 3. An additional 4 points for Thunderdame. We're seeing a high block call against Tarantula, so one of the towers of power in the Rose City defense has been temporarily removed.
All right. Well, that's that. 8 points there, 189 to 108. Shout out to Sir Nix-a-Lot, listening from St. Louis, and hello to the other St. Louisians. It has been pointed out to me that every time I say trip, people think I mean trip to the box.
Oh.
And yeah, so now I'm like, that's going to be a bit confusing. Well, they'll have to change trip to the box. We'll have to change words for that.
Voyage.
Yeah.
sentence? I don't know. I don't like anything that, equates to punishment.
You know what? I don't like anything. Back to the action.
Blah, you.
Yeah, not to show you up with my nihilistic, no.
I like your nihilism. But Bonnie Thunder's having a sit in the penalty box. And currently, a great deal of speed in the pack as it moves midway between jammer and pivot lines. Lady Trample round the outside up the straightaway, adding 4. Bonnie Thunder's standing in the penalty box, about to embark upon perhaps another adventure.
Another scoring adventure success for Lady Trample. See? I'm feeling good.
Ooh.
I'm like, wow, I hope we should get some gold or something. I don't even know.
I don't know.
Maybe she'll see a nice cat on this adventure.
Super Mario coins. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Right?
4 for Lady Trample. A total of 12 so far. What a grand adventure it is. Okay, 27. That would be Gorect off to the penalty box pivot for Denver. The pack keeping it close back in turn 2. Burning the clock on Bonnie Thunders quite a bit, as just out now for the scoring trip. We'll see if any points are yielded.
All right. Trample, a nice little bound over the apex.
Really, total bound, and it's far too graceful to be considered a trampling.
Yeah.
Oh, and quite a moment with her coach.
But also, let's look at this 20 points that Denver has gotten in this last jam thanks to Lady Trample, bringing them up to 128. Rose City at 192, having picked up 3 points. Got a couple seconds left. I think we have time for one last jam.
Ooh, and the 20-point jam from Lady Trample, highest scoring jam in the game.
I would say.
Prior to that was 17 points in period 1 from Lauren Much, but she exceeded it. Perhaps one could say by a leap and bound. But lead for Brute pretty quickly, and Denver with a blocker to the box. That would be Akers, number 99, having a seat.
All right, we have an unofficial score of 195 to 128. While that gets settled, we have an answer. Set a spell is the trip to the box. Why not use those normal words? You're not wrong. Shout out to the Midwest.
Yes. Set a spell. I like it. Although I think sometimes if I were to say it, it might not sound all that natural. I don't know.
That's fair.
I am not a Midwesterner.
We can adopt you.
Yeah,
you just have to say your R's all of the time.
Oh, that's hard. I can do it on a call.
Also, it helps if you put them into words that you wouldn't normally imagine they would be.
No.
That's fair.
No, I can't.
You don't have to. It's like an optional.
That's a challenge.
I decided not to.
Well, coming to the end of the game, the score, I wasn't doing that to wrap us up. Just because I saw the flash of final score pop up, it is officially the final score, 195 for Rose City's Wheels of Justice to 128 for Denver Roller Derby's Mile High Club. Hard-fought game by all, and definitely seeing how the impact from Lauren Much's expulsion contributed, perhaps, not just to, it contributed to Denver making some gains in period 2, though did not draw terribly from Rose City's victory. But Bonnie Thunder's contribution as the highest scoring jammer remaining in the game, she put up 71 points. And Scald Eagle as the top scorer for Denver with 53 points. So just a few things to note.
Absolutely, and what a wonderful game for us to end track 2 on. We will have 2 expo bouts coming up. I believe one of them may have started.
Yes, matriculating junior skaters. That particular game started at 8 p.m. What time do we have now?
It is 8:16.
Okay.
So the Juniors Expo is over on track 1. That'll go about a half hour, and then Team Canada facing off against the Big O MVPs, and that will round up another wonderful Big O. So thank you all so much for joining us this weekend. We hope you enjoy the Expo Games, and until next year, I'm Julia Sleazy.
And I'm Beautiful Banshee. Thank you very much. Take care.